Welcome to our session. I'm Mafalda Povos, a solution strategy at OutSystems, and I'm happy to be here today with my colleague, Tony Olivier.
Hey, good morning, Mafalda. And good morning out there. I'm Tony Olivier from OutSystems, and I'm involved in the Application Modernization Initiative here. The title today is how to unlock the power of your existing IT systems, but we're really talking about how to solve a business and IT issue that thousands of customers have today. Well, the struggle between business and IT is real. It's always been an issue in companies as long as I've worked in the enterprise software field. Business has always struggled with IT's delivery schedules, among other things, and IT's always had a frustration with business's constant demand for change and new features. As software moves more to cloud delivery, the struggle between business and IT led to the surge in shadow IT, with the business not really caring about IT's issues. They wanted the services when they wanted them to map either a business need or something else. And if IT couldn't deliver, the cloud provided an avenue for business users to circumvent important and sometimes critical controls imposed by IT. At the senior management level, business leaders complain that their existing systems are holding back their ability to innovate and deliver new services. But in many cases, and rightly so, IT pushes back. Over 80% of their budget's keeping the lights on and keeping the existing systems up and running. With less than 20% left for a new project, how is IT supposed to deliver anything new at all? So there's always been a need for modernization. IT knows your systems need to be upgraded, updated, and modernized. Just like internal factors like security patches or internal changes to a business model drives modernization. Some customers want to modernize their existing systems by lifting and shifting to the cloud. Great idea if your applications are mature and all they need is a new home to reduce costs, but what about external factors? The world is changing fast. Economic upheaval like Brexit is driving all kinds of changes to customers' core systems. Imagine you're an EU company that loved your UK-based customers, and now with Brexit, you have to update your existing systems to charge different fees than a couple of years ago. It might be a simple change, and it might not be. New technologies and combinations of technology are also disrupting more industries than ever before. How has something like Uber or Airbnb disrupted your business, or even something similar? What changes did you make in response to a competitor providing a new service, or an out-of-the-blue competitor pivoting into your market space? How did your company respond, and what kind of IT effort was required to change your core system to map to that new reality? And yes, there's always the new government regulations. For example, when GDPR came out, companies scrambled to meet fairly strict data privacy requirements, and in many cases hadn't been considered when their core systems had been originally conceived. Again, by December 2018, for example, only 50% of companies believed that they were GDPR compliant at all. Then 2020 happened. As we're all experiencing and still experiencing a Black Swan, an asteroid hitting the Earth level event we're still in the middle of. And in many companies, digital transformation was led at the C-suite and could lead to lots of meetings, big budgets, and long development cycles. But there was really no time for that in 2020. There was no time for long meetings, long project plans. In some cases, compliance and governance was put on hold as many companies moved to heaven and earth to deliver new services to people and companies that couldn't wait. So within your own company, what you had as a modernization need in 2019 was now a modernization imperative in 2020. And you didn't have the luxury to push their modernization and transformation efforts to the next quarter or even the next year. Depending on the industry, customers and markets dried up. Other industries experienced dramatic growth. Buying behaviors changed. And many of your office workers are now working from their kitchen table. And if you put your hand to your ear a year ago, once the lockdown hit, you'd hear the business and IT both yelling things like, I can't access my applications remotely. I can't access it from my mobile phone. If your employees can't, neither could your customer. The state of New Jersey put out an all-points bulletin asking for COBOL programmers last April to apply for work, regardless if they were retired or even in a senior's home. They needed programmers to help update an aging mainframe-based unemployment system. One of the bigger problems I've read about recent COBOL projects is the risk of team members passing away during development. But to put it into perspective, there's 240 billion lines of COBOL code still in use today. But ultimately, the problem is not around an aging application, it's around time to value. For most customers, new applications and new access couldn't be built quick enough to actually match the demand. So I want to talk about the legacy trap. And here's 3 examples of customers that are stuck in that trap. When I say legacy, I don't really mean a 40-year-old application. I mean a system that's not flexible enough to pivot to meet the needs of the business. All 3 customers are in that situation. So I'm going to start with ISB Global. They are a systems integrator in the UK that focuses on the waste management industry. Their issue is they needed to provide fast and better customer access to their ERP system that had a complex user interface and no real mobile access. AXA Insurance was faced with no online access for their policy system. Any independent broker, they had to wait on hold until someone from AXA's overburdened call center was free, so you could then ask questions about a particular policy. As insurance is a competitive industry, AXA was under such a competitive threat that the brokers would just give up and go somewhere else to another supplier. Now, creating an online access was easier said than done because most of their IT budget was spent maintaining the existing and aging legacy platforms. And finally, International Food Retail Group, Ahold Delhaize grocery stores actually needed to improve store operations, especially in inventory management. They have over 1,000 plus retail locations serving the Netherlands and Belgium. The average age of the workforce is 21, and they struggle to use a set of complex legacy apps to manage customer requests. These apps were built and maintained over 20 years and was difficult for IT to support. And those apps were locked on desktop computers and took the retail employees away from dealing with customers on the floor. Some staff also labor with some handheld devices that uses an outdated web app, so the resulting user experience was cumbersome. So why aren't you modernizing? How hard can it be? Other than the cost, the risk, the overall shortage of skills, and the shifting priorities, it's easy. But in reality, in many cases, it's almost impossible. The technical debt is high, and it can be risky technical debt. You could fix a problem in one spot, and you could be unsure what problems that's going to cause, that the fix is going to cause down the line. But what if there was another way, a first step you could quickly use to unlock the value of your existing systems? Imagine being able to pivot your systems and data to launch new services quickly, improve internal processes, or reach out to customers in a way you didn't think possible without a lot of extra effort. You can, and you can do that by extending your existing applications. Extend means adding access to your key core applications without disruption. Extend means you can customize your existing application touchpoints with an updated user interface. Extend means you can add new touchpoints according to your business needs without the risk, cost, or special skills needed for traditional customization of your legacy system. And at the same time, deliver high value to the business that's been making the request. But why would you use OutSystems to extend your application? Here's 4 reasons. Our visual model development is probably the most productive way to build your apps. The OutSystems UI framework gives you 100 plus pre-built UX, UI components and screen templates. The UI components give you a faster way to build common interactions and patterns like drop-downs, carousels, buttons, and they follow industry best practices. You can also customize them as you need to, and you can leverage your company's themes and branding guidelines to make the application your own. The overall benefit, it makes it easier to build front ends that are intuitive and easy to use. You can also leverage our pre-built UI screen templates to create the application screens faster and easier via tried and true best-of-breed templates with bootstrap data right from within the IDE. This allows your dev team to make world-class user experiences with the default. You can leverage our pre-built UI screen templates also to create application screens faster and easier via tried and tested best-of-breed templates with bootstrap data right from within the IDE. This allows your dev team to make world-class user experiences the default for all their applications. Your dev team can assemble new screens with only one click by selecting more than 50 templates right within the IDE. Say goodbye to long learning curves and starting from scratch every time. Instead, start delivering great applications from day one. Your developers can also share real working prototypes earlier and collect better feedback from your business users to ensure you're solving the right problems the right way from the beginning. And finally, your dev team can avoid duplicating work with throwaway mock-ups and move smoothly from prototype to production by adding data, business logic, and integrations, as well as customizing your application with 140 plus patterns and controls. We also provide pre-built connectors with over 400 systems, including, of course, the most common apps and SaaS solutions like SAP, Salesforce, Oracle, and DB2. Your developers simply drag and drop them to the logic and workflow and configure them for connectivity to your legacy systems. We generate all the necessary code, authentication flow, encoding, parsing for calling an external system, and can easily change and augment the existing integrations based on your business requirements. Our connectors also provide high-performance data access with built-in performance metrics and certified SAP OData and ABAP connectivity. We also ensure the privacy of your data with built-in governance. And if you have a system that resists standard integrations, your devs can build out their own connectors through OutSystems by consuming a standard SOAP, REST, or OData service, or even just an API via drag and drop. Best of all, any connector you create is reusable for other apps you want to create. Now, once you've built the UI and connected the app to your legacy system, your developers can quickly create and deploy native mobile apps using the same patterns you would to create web responsive applications. And depending on the situation, and if you don't need to deliver a native app for your contractor, we'll give you the ability to deploy your OutSystems application as a progressive web app at the switch of a button. A PWA, progressive web app, can be seen really as a mobile optimized version of web pages that you actually install on your phone through the browser. They're similar to having regular applications, minus the inconvenience to having to be downloaded from an app store. But perhaps the most recognizable feature of PWAs, they're available even offline or under weak network conditions. So when you enable the web app, it'll download a few essential elements that let you use it at all times. This means that PWAs are more reliable and much faster than standard web apps. So in the case of ISB Global, they used OutSystems to develop an application they branded SmartWorld. SmartWorld is a 100% SAP integrated cloud solution that renders only the data needed to complete the job as efficiently as possible, and it guides the users through the process. They extended their SAP system to create a mobile application that provides the remote and field employees the ability to record and monitor customer service requests. It's a highly usable user interface and increases staff efficiency and reduces training because it offers a finely tuned workflow free of the UI complexities of SAP. And with OutSystems ISB, they found they could bring a mobile application to market in weeks due to the platform's off-the-shelf SAP integration and our multi-tenant capabilities. AXA Insurance used OutSystems to extend their in-house legacy platform based on Oracle and .NET, and they created their eServe insurance portal in just 3 months, and it's about half the time it would take with traditional tools. eServe provides an elegant mobile and desktop access during the pilot program, and again after the rollout, the independent brokers found the system was intuitive and easy to use without any special training required. Ahold took a slightly different approach. Instead of replacing old screens with new ones, they merged all 9 existing applications into one. Their ERP system had a robust data structure and current business rules, but what they really needed was a new front end and a modern mobile user experience. So in 2018, they went live with the app that they called Wink, and with just one function. The co-creation team chose a simple feature, but one with a huge impact: the ability for employees to mark down products with an approaching expiration date. Seeing as Ahold had many self-scan stores where customers can check out themselves, it was critical for products to have the right barcode stickers. In the stores, a retailer gave the employees a mix of handhelds like the Zebra, Android devices, and iPads too. And in 1 year, Ahold released 9 versions of Wink and rolled out to 1,000+ stores and over 60,000 users, cutting time on the crucial store tasks in half.
As you see from these customer stories, the fastest way to unlock value from existing systems without disruption and without the cost of replacing, upgrading, or bespoke customization is to connect those systems to a modern app development platform. These customers have achieved higher operational efficiency through intuitive front ends and mobile capabilities that provide real-time access to data trapped in core systems. Others have maximized IT efficiency with reusable UI or logic components and out-of-the-box connectors that enable the delivery of new capabilities faster. And they've also reduced the risk of technical debt with the use of AI-powered tools that provide self-healing, dependencies management, and lifecycle optimization with one-click deployment. So with an expense strategy, IT can explore the full potential of existing IT systems while modernizing at their own pace and without creating tomorrow's debt. But this is only the beginning. Once you extend some systems to tackle your most pressing business needs, you'll soon find out there are other systems that require your attention too. So modernizing critical business capabilities is a journey, and each company's modernization journey is unique. Along that journey, each iteration should be planned in order to continuously add value to the company. Each step should start with why, and the answer has to be about delivering business value rather than just solving IT problems. What systems do we need to ensure survival? What systems do we need to improve competitive positioning? Will the business need to take advantage of technologies like AI or smart technologies, for example? So extending an app on top of a core system is a quick way to deliver innovation. But IT shouldn't lose focus of the entire application portfolio health score. It is critical to analyze all the applications in place and assess the existing and potential problems because different systems will require different modernization approaches. And modernization approaches range from extend to complete rebuild. So if we picture a house, extend would be like replacing windows for new ones. This type of approach works well when core systems are still functional, and you just need to create new functionality quickly to address urgent business requests. With this kind of approach, you can postpone the need for complete systems modernization because it provides stakeholders with enough time to assess the entire app portfolio and think about its desired future state. If we keep the comparison of modernization strategies to a house reno, refactor is like creating a new floor plan. You like the house, but the layout is not the best because rooms are not easily connected and it's hard to move around efficiently. So you decide to tear down a wall and create an open concept floor plan with the kitchen and the living area efficiently connected and interoperable. In the systems case, it can be that the architecture is too complex. There are too many systems, or there are big monolith apps. So what refactoring gives you is an incremental replacement strategy. You can transform specific components while the remaining portion of the system is still fueled by older technology. But over time, obsolete components are substituted with newer ones. It is possible that gradually the whole system is updated, or you can just upgrade parts and keep others as they are. And then there's rebuild. Rebuild is like building a new house. For some reason, the house no longer suits your needs, or you need more rooms, something is not up to code, you want to add a deck, you name it. So you start thinking about what the house should look like to meet your needs. The same goes for systems. When you decide to rebuild a new system, you have the opportunity to go back to the drawing board and build it with the latest technologies and modern architectural concepts to ensure that the system will stay relevant in the years ahead. Rebuilding leads to the retirement of the old system, and when done right, gives you a flexible foundation to face future challenges. As I said earlier, each company has its own modernization journey depending on their specific business needs. And depending on each company's specific systems and desired future state, there are 3 strategies to tackle modernization. What's more, Each system may require a different approach, even within the same portfolio. So this means that there are lots of moving parts, and it's very difficult, if not impossible, to plan for everything you need for every system. That's why you need a cloud platform approach. A cloud platform approach serves as a solid foundation for your modernization needs because it enables you to build the apps you need today, but is also ready for the apps that you'll need tomorrow. Companies think that moving to the cloud is enough to fulfill their modernization ambitions. But that is not the case, because with cloud comes complexity, and the people who have the skills to manage it are scarce and expensive. The good news is that without systems, you don't have to worry about managing cloud ops or keeping up with the latest and greatest in terms of cloud infrastructure, because you will always benefit from continuous upgrades through underlying infrastructure abstraction, code generation, and an independent runtime. Cloud systems makes cloud operations manageable without specialized expertise. And that's what we call a tiers-free cloud. It also gives you multiple modernization choices that you can pick or explore concurrently. You can rebuild some systems while others just need an extension. By enabling multiple modernization strategies simultaneously, the platform enables you to get value from your efforts quicker, and you can modernize progressively and not disruptively. So you get the flexibility to move towards your future state while preserving the ability to keep your existing systems working without disruption. As you can see, wherever you are in the journey of modernizing to the cloud, OutSystems is the platform that scales with your requirements. It is tailor-made to align with your strategic vision and needs, while saving you from the complexity. So let's take a look at some real-life examples of companies who have used OutSystems for more advanced modernization approaches. Green Cargo provides sustainable rail logistics across Scandinavia and Europe, and it was about to rip and replace its mainframe logistics system and their ERP. But realizing that this would cost millions and place digital innovation on hold for 7 years, they decided to find new ways to access data in the legacy systems and shift digital innovation to the cloud. The plan consisted of orchestrating data from the mainframe and SAP to enable effective data utilization from those systems in the cloud without changing the underlying infrastructure. Green Cargo created a microservices-oriented architecture to support the digitization of the company over many years. The cloud platform strategy was crucial to enable real-time integration, event-driven applications, API management, and automation with embedded user access control and security. Now let's see what Vopak did. Vopak, one of the world's largest tank terminal operators for the oil and gas industry, needed to build a new terminal management system. Their goal was to reduce dependence on the ERP supplier, focus on cloud and mobile use, and build a system tailored for their needs. The new ERP was built on AWS cloud without pain, and the company was able to realize value quickly. In less than a month, the team had the first version of the system, and after deployment, employee productivity went up by 50%. What's more, with OutSystems, Vopak now has a platform that easily integrates with legacy systems and enables the modernization of the other systems at their own pace.
So now what? As we reach the end of the session, we've gone through a lot of the issues that you and many others have, and we've given a few options to get started. The easiest way to start your OutSystems journey is to extend your legacy application if you need a few new touch points and some quick wins. You could also refactor your legacy application with OutSystems to deliver new services and new value from all that data and information that's locked up in your existing systems. And then finally, when your systems have reached the end of the line, OutSystems provides a great platform to rebuild and reimagine them on a platform that you can build fast, build right, and build for the future. So I hope you've enjoyed this session today and it's inspired you in your own digital transformation. If you'd like to talk to an expert about where to start, you can use the link below. We'll also be sending you an email with this link and some additional resources for you to explore. Thank you very much for attending and have a great day.